Welcome to another episode of the Encounter Podcast. With me, I'm your host, Minister Marcus. My co-host is on tonight. I think he got his name wrong.
No, that's my right name. Let me change my name. Let me change my name.
Oh my God. Before we get started, man, I want to shout out Shirts by Stu, who made me this shirt. If you want to purchase this shirt, you can buy it. It's exclusively on Instagram. You can find them at Shirts by Stu. You can see is right down there, scrolling on the bottom of your screen. Shout out to Shirts by Stu for making me this shirt. I love it. They've been making all of my stuff. So, man, go check out all the different designs. This shirt right here is on sale for the rest of the month. $13 only. So, up to sizes 1X. All right. Any sizes above that, you're going to pay more than 13. But small to 1X, $13. Great shirt. They come in blue and black. So, shout out to Shirts by Stu. How you doing tonight, bro?
Shout out to,
why don't you go and say hi to
a friend
everybody?
of mine I want to shout out to a friend of mine that makes shirts also, Jeremy Comax. The shirt I had on at the last podcast we did, he made that one too. He made this one also.
Okay.
The Texans we was going up against Baltimore, and you see all these people in our division, toilet tissue and trash.
Oh yeah, he wiped his butt with it, huh? Okay. Okay, I
like
that.
But they wiped their butt with us. They
like
did
that.
us. Oh, also, I want to support a black business. This is a black-owned liqueur.
Okay, your camera kind of messing up, but we're gonna bring it a little bit closer.
GO3 vodka, black-owned.
Oh, okay, GO3. How much is that bottle?
Yeah. I paid $30 for this tall bottle.
Okay, what is that? A 1.75? Is that a 1 liter, 1.75 liter? Well, how big is that? Can't find it.
Yeah, I think this is 75. I don't know. It just says Juneteenth on the bottom. They come with a little light. Okay. You know, you black people need some entertainment.
Okay, hey, that's what's up, man. Shout out to them, man. I got you. Hold on. We can't see that.
Yeah.
It's kind of blurry on the camera.
It's you can follow them at GO3 Vodka. GO3 Vodka is a Texas-made, award-winning spear that is meticulously distilled from a harmonious blend of sweet
I'm about
potatoes.
To get it all that out, bro. I'm about to. How can we find them? What's their Instagram?
It's GO3 Vodka.
Okay, that's the Instagram, GO3 Vodka. Guys, check out the black-owned businesses. All right, so look, I want to start off with this, man. Tell me if I'm out of line for this, bro, because everybody was looking at me like I done lost my mind. All right, so I'm in the store, right, standing in line. What in the world is that? I'm in the store standing in line. Dude comes and stands like behind me, but to my right. But he's so close to me, bro. Like, if I do my elbow like this, I would hit him. So I'm thinking, all right, this dude, evidently he don't know the boundary. I think he was Asian or something. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna let him make it. I'm gonna step up and hopefully he'll back off. What in the world are you making?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so check it out. So anyway, I take my step up. This dude comes and steps right up, right where he was, bruh. So, okay, at this point, I'm like, you know what? So I just ask him, I'm like, hey, man, what's up? He's like, hey, what's up? So I say, hey, what's your name? And then he told me, I'm like, bro, can you back up, my nigga? Like, can you back up? Oh, yeah, sorry.
asked him to back up.
Yeah, like, bro, I don't say
Okay.
sorry. I stepped up and you came right back where you was. I don't want you to be that close to me. So is that me? Am I out of bounds or was he out of bounds on it?
No, I
Because
think
I
he was
think
out
he
of
was out
bounds.
of bounds. Like, you need to know you don't need to be that close to another dude that you don't know. I'm sorry. Come on, tell me. Tell me. Was I tripping?
No, I don't think you was tripping, but you know, your triggers come real fast. So I think you could have just been like, "Hey, can you give me a little space or be a little close?" But you went from 0 to 50 in 2 minutes. Hey,
I
my
just
nigga,
I
can
asked
you back?
I asked him his name. I said, "Hey, bro, what's your name?" And then he told me, I'm like, I, Ton, whatever your name is, Ton, can you like back up, my nigga? Like, can you back up?
That's
Ah, dang,
that sounds real sarcastic to ask name. Oh, what's your name? Yeah, yeah. Can you back up a little bit?
Ton. He said, "What's your name, Ton?
Tom?
Ton, can you back up?" That's what I think it's Ton or 10 or something like that. 10. Can you back? Like, can you just take like a couple
No,
steps back,
but I
bro?
mean, he was in your space, so it's okay. You asked him to back up, so I
Thank
don't
you.
think you.
Thank you. Thank you. You know what? I'm really trying to get better at this whole like I realize the older you learn yourself, right? The older I'm learning myself like being around too many people for too long. I have to like go away and like
I put it on.
recharge my social battery, bro. Like that's oh my God.
I put the Wi-Fi on.
It's like stressful,
So
man.
you have to recharge
I
the
stood in
battery.
line
You have
for
to
like
recharge the
15
social
minutes.
battery.
Yeah, man. Like I stood in line for like 15 minutes and there was so many people all congested and crowded. And then the people in front of me that was in line, when the line move up, they not moving up. So I'm like, I'm trying to tell them like, we standing in line. Y'all need to go. But every time, everybody that's like nobody pays attention anymore. I was just like, happy to get in my car.
You was already agitated.
Nah, it wasn't that. It was too many people, bro. It was like too congested. I can't. I don't know. I almost lost it.
Anyway, I don't think you were wrong. I think you just wanted your space, and he was in your space, and it made you uncomfortable.
He was
There's nothing
definitely
wrong
in
with
my
that.
space. He was he
See,
was
I,
he was
I think
definitely
I handled situations a lot differently, so I don't think I would have been like that. I think if I was in uniform, I definitely would have stepped to the side and looked back at him like he was too close. But I would step to the side and guarded my gun because you don't stand behind officer or police officer, security officer, or walk behind them and they have a weapon on them. First thing we come to my mind is that you trying to take my gun.
trying to take the gun.
Now in regular clothes, I do this all the time. I think I did it when we was walking in the mall. I'd be like, hey, hold on, let them go. Because obviously they're trying to get somewhere.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
hold on, let them pass. Sometimes sarcasm come with that. Sometimes I just stop and I look at them until they pass. And they be gone already about, a couple of minutes up the road and I still look. And then we start walking. This
Yeah,
is my little sarcasm, but
yeah. Like get away from me,
I
right?
don't I
Yeah.
don't yeah, I'm not verbally saying something where it can be triggered to a what's the word? Confrontation.
Yeah. So is it weird for me, bro? Because I do that while I'm driving too. Like if somebody ride up on the side of me, first of all, if you driving in Houston, I'm annoyed with you. So look, I'm driving. They speed up. And then instead of passing me up, they slow down right on the side of my car. I don't know why. I don't know why they do that. But when they do that, I hit the gas like or I slow down, I hit the brakes to see if they're gonna slow down to speed up with me. Most time when I speed up, they speed up with me. So I slow down and I let them keep going. But I don't know why people do that. Do I have just like this attractive personality to make people think that I want to be around them or something? My car have this thing where
It's just
like
it's you thinking like that because when you're driving, sometimes people just driving. They're not thinking with that. Let me speed up because he's speeding up. They just driving. They're not paying attention. But
yeah.
like that's for me too. When I'm trying to get somewhere, I feel like everybody driving slow on purpose because I got a patrol car. But it's not the case. It's I left too late.
That could actually be it though, because soon as we
Now
see them cars, bro, everybody on the freeway slow down.
everybody hitting the brakes and slowing down. They
Yeah,
some
man.
will get out the way. Some will ride slow on them brakes and make you go around. I mean, it is aggravating. But
Wow.
in my little black car though, I think I mentioned somebody in a Tesla hit that gas. I'm like, I'm not gonna race you. They hit that gas, man, stop playing with me. They hit that gas and I hit that turbo. Oh. I mean, I don't be
Did
trying
you
to
beat
do
him?
it, but yeah.
Did you
Well,
did you beat
so
him?
I got them, and we were going through traffic. Then when traffic came on my side, then they went ahead and went, and then they slowed down. It was a white girl and a white boy. They was like, um, a motorcycle do. I mean, it happens more often than not. I try not to do it because I'm a law-abiding citizen,
Right, right,
and
right.
I don't speed ever. You're gonna be talking about wow. But a motorcycle will challenge me. I let him go for a while, and then when he on my butt, following everywhere I go, I just gotta prove it to him. Like, hey,
Yeah,
you know.
guess he ain't ready, huh?
I mean, some of them be. If you in a 500 cc or a 1000 cc, don't try me. Try Jesus.
All right, so topic of the day, trust, man. Trust
Woo!
issues, bruh.
All right.
Terrible trust issues. So do you have trust issues?
No, not at all.
How do you know you ain't got trust issues though? Like, are you the jealous
Because
type?
no, so this is what I've always lived by. And in this marriage, I think more so than any other situation, I always say I don't care about a lot of stuff. When I care about something, then I'm having trust issues. Like if I'm not caring about where you're going, who you talking to, what you're doing, then I trust you. If I start caring about where you're going all the time, what you're doing, who you talking to, then I have a trust issue. There's something going on with me.
What would make you start caring like that?
Um, if some stuff don't add up, if words don't add up, if you know, if I'm just feeling something in my gut. But there's a lot of things, and I try to tell people the same thing. Anything can look like something if you give it any kind of fuel. Anything can feel like something, look like something. But if you're not thinking like that, if you're not on that same vibe, on that same page where you're trying to find something to create something, then it's a lot of stuff that you can just let go. It may not be anything at all, but it just looks or could be something. But that's how the devil works. This
Yeah,
ain't no spiritual podcast, but he find a little weakness or the little thing that bothers you most, and he focuses in on that, and then it makes it
right.
way bigger and bigger, and then you hold it in, you try to ignore it, and then when it finally do come out, it's way bigger than it could have been or should have been. Instead of just discussing it or asking a question. Uh, but I wanted to talk about trust, but I wanted to start with why men don't trust women with vulnerable moments and secrets, and then we'll get down to the other stuff. Uh, what I thought about was why men don't trust women with vulnerable moments and secrets. And I'm gonna talk from I've asked different people throughout the day,
Okay.
and I'm talking about experience too. I'm kind of mushing everything in one, so people can take from it. If y'all want to comment, please comment. We want to hear your opinions and your thoughts so we can talk about it. I feel like one of the main reasons, and this is men now, one of the main reasons why a lot of men don't trust women, whether they're in a relationship or it's the beginning, or if they're married, with secrets and vulnerable moments, is because some women, I won't say all, but some women, when they have whatever secret, whatever vulnerable moment, they have that against you. As soon as something happens where they're upset, they sometimes use that against you or throw it in your face.
Yeah, no, no, ain't no sometimes, all the time.
I'll say sometimes because we talk about some women, not all women. And when that happens, now I've shown you a vulnerable side, and now I shut all the way down. You'll never see
Right,
that vulnerable side again.
right.
It's happened to me more than a few times where I even had to write a poem about it. It had bothered me so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, That's what happens when they get that piece of information. So let me use for an example. Um, I've always said I'll never hit a woman. If I
Right.
come to you and tell you I never hit a woman, you now have that piece of valuable information. It makes me feel less than a man. It makes me hurt. It makes me sad. It makes me, do this, feel like this. You have that information.
Right. But that
Why
don't mean you start
the
hitting
first
on
thing
me.
that happens, the first thing that happens when they can't get to me emotionally because I don't care about a lot of things, unless it's something dealing with my family, my kids, or whatever.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff that don't move me or anger me. But
Right.
if you try to get a reaction out of me, there's a few things that can do it. Dealing with my kids, my wife, or putting your hands on me. Other than that, I really could care less because there's something I can deal with, something I can work out, something that we
Right.
can figure out. It's not that serious.
Right. But see, but once you give them that information, you know what the first thing they gonna do? They gonna swing on you. Because
It's
they know
happened
you're not
more.
gonna hit them back,
It's
and they
happened.
know that it's gonna trigger something emotionally. And that's bro,
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was gonna say. When it comes to that, most dudes don't trust women with vulnerable moments because women cannot be trusted with vulnerable moments. And that's just how I feel. That
I
ain't on
can't
no
say
K
that.
Sam stuff. No, but it's real. It's like this. When the dudes say I need to be able to trust my woman, what a dude is saying is I need you to be able to protect my secrets and not use my
Vulnerable
vulnerabilities
moments against you.
right against me. It's like, if she tells you that she feels insecure about her weight, you don't immediately go to weight as soon as y'all get into an argument. That's just ridiculous
Yeah,
because she told you that in a vulnerable moment. You're supposed to protect that. Most of the time, when women, they don't do that. And so, like, you really got to search and find for the right type of woman that understands every time I get mad is not a time to provoke that vulnerable, you know what I'm saying? Or bring up that, that vulnerable spot. You know,
now in those women that we're talking about defense, some men put those women in hurtful situations where now they just want you to hurt back in whatever way that is.
I can
And
see that.
and
I can see that.
and that's not it's not right. But if they feel like they can't get you in any other way, they know for a fact these vulnerable moments that you share or that you feel some kind of way about, and it can be anything. It can be anything. It could be somebody taking blood pressure medication and can't get up. First thing they gonna say is,
Yeah, right.
"Yo, limp D A." It's just
Right.
the natural.
Right.
It's just
Right.
the natural thing that has happened in the past. Why some men don't trust women with vulnerable secrets and moments. But
Yeah.
oh, go ahead. Say what you were saying.
No, no. I was just gonna say at that point though, then the dude begins to check out because if I can't trust you, how you gonna get mad if I go and trust somebody else? I mean, at that point, it's just a matter of time. Once a dude see that he can't trust you to not use his vulnerable points against him, dudes just check out. They just check out. And then women will say, "Oh, he don't know how to communicate." No, when he tried to communicate, you use that against him, and so now he doesn't want to communicate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And so, like, it's one of those things where it just constantly creates a rift, and then you have to talk about that, and then talk about it again because I didn't tell you that for you to use that against me. I told you that in a point of that. Hopefully, it could bring us closer. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I think for guys especially, we don't like being vulnerable. And if we give a person that type of, and I'm not even gonna say power, but if we expose ourselves in that type of way, for a woman to try to use that against us, man, come on, bro. I mean, I'm gonna look at the relationship different, me personally. I am because you're not supposed to use nothing like that. And it's just like this, bro. What if we are at a point in our lives where things are a little bit difficult, or you never know what your dude is going through, and you just gonna throw, nah. I mean, I gotta, I don't know, I gotta protect myself, and then at that point, I feel like I gotta protect myself from you, and you're my person. Now we either gotta talk about that like for real, or we gotta cut that off. 'Cause I gotta be able to trust my person with my vulnerabilities and vice versa. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah, man, I just can't see it. It's another thing. Another one that you sent me. Why don't women trust men spiritually?
Okay. Uh, and from experience, I will say that when a person knows what you've done, where you've been, even if it was before them or during them, uh, sometimes they can't correlate the change because they're still in it. So that hurt is still, it's like a wound that hadn't really healed.
Okay, hold on. Are you saying, like, let's say I meet a girl, she tell me about her past. Now that don't have nothing to do with me. I can't be hurt about her past. So like, what are you
Okay.
saying? Are you saying like they had history and then now
So
it's
no, no,
something
no,
different?
no. So the same way I'm saying how men share a vulnerable play moment, like, oh yeah, I've been divorced 2, 3 times, right?
Right.
That means that you've had those relationships with them. If you share some hurts dealing with those relationships or stuff that you did, you were the wrong one in those relationships, you cheated or whatever, you lied, whatever, got caught. Um, some of that is held over your head in the sense of, well, you can do it to me. Well, what if you lie to me? Well, what if you cheat on me? And I feel that, and I'm kind of getting off, but spiritually, we're going back to spiritually because there's a carnal side too, and
Okay.
we was talking about financially, but spiritually,
Yeah, we going to financially next, but right now we
yeah,
just on spirit.
spiritually, if a woman knows you to be who you were in the past and had not seen the change spiritually, or even if she's seen the change but don't trust the change yet, going back to trust, it's like the mind can't correlate that I'm going to follow you spiritually in
Mhm.
some situations, not all situations, but they know too much.
Okay, but wait.
So
So
go
hold on.
ahead.
So, but look, I would argue this. If you cheated or if there was a point where you couldn't be trusted, I would say that that person is justified in doing that. But now, if I'm telling you something that happened before you and you coming in judging me on what happened before you get what I'm saying? Let's say like I meet somebody today and I say, man, I used to be a cheater, but this was like years ago. And now that we're in a relationship, you all like, I can't follow you because you used to be a cheater. How I know you ain't gonna cheat on me?
You
Look,
don't
I
you don't
told you
think
that happened 10 years ago.
so?
Like,
Men, I don't think a lot of men do this, but there's women that have that in the back of their head, even if they don't verbalize it or speak it in their internal brains and bodies, hearts, minds, and souls. They're not gonna completely trust you spiritually yet. I don't know how, and maybe we need to talk to some women and ask the question how or when does that click or transform? But
we gon' we gonna have one on next week.
yeah, in the back of some women's mind, who you were and what you did sometimes plays a part in why they can't trust spiritually. And then let's fast forward to if y'all in a relationship, y'all been together, but you hadn't shown signs of studying your Bible, going to
Okay.
church, praying for you, praying for us, praying openly. And I've sometimes hadn't prayed as much openly as I should, but I pray in secret, I pray in private, I study, I read the Bible, especially when I hear a good word. I want to go back and study it for myself because there's something else I sometimes I think I post about Revelation is so weird sometimes and funny how God reveals stuff. Somebody can say something and I'm not taking what he's saying the way he's taking it. But then
Right.
I go back and study it, and I see or hear something way different.
Yeah,
So
right.
I have my own relationship, but if a woman don't see that you know how to lead properly spiritually,
Right.
she's not gonna trust you spiritually. Not yet. It takes some time to build that.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. See, me, I've been a preacher for like most of my life. I've been like a minister since I was like 15. Now, for the earlier part of that, I didn't really I didn't really live the life like I should have. And my study habits have always been good. I've always played at a church or whatever, but I've always been well versed when it comes to the Bible, to learning and studying and understanding about God, different books of the Bible, certain, everything about the word, but like the lifestyle just wasn't there. But I say that to say I've never had the issue, I guess, because of the title. And I've never been the type to really just be doing too much. You get what I'm saying? So like I don't know. In my experiences, I've never had the issue as to a person, a woman not trusting me spiritually, and I'm assuming that that's because I've been a preacher for so long, and my study habits are like they've always been
Let's
all the time. You know
we
what I'm
can
saying?
even look at we can overgeneralize it and say, look at most churches, look at most congregations. When pastors get caught up in certain things or ministers get caught up in certain things, some people leave because now they don't trust you with their their souls. If you're the
Yeah,
shepherd and you're supposed to be overseeing, they don't trust you with their souls. It's the same thing in relationship.
yeah.
If you're and now people make mistakes. Now don't get me wrong. People make mistakes and especially in marriage there's the things that happen, but sometimes people will shut down until they know that there's a difference or until they feel or see that there's a
I
difference.
mean, at that point, why stay though? Why stay at that point? If you shutting down and you shutting me out, why stay? Why stay in a
Uh,
relationship that you're not engaging in at that point?
so if we're talking about spiritually, if we're talking about spiritually, we're not just talking
Okay,
about,
okay, okay. I
yeah,
get what you're saying.
you can shut that part down and still stay with the person, just like you and Alonzo was saying about how beliefs sometimes don't matter. If with the person that you went going with or being with or in a relationship with, same thing. Spiritually, if they're shut off and cut off, it goes back to what y'all was saying. That as long as they're doing what y'all need to do or being the person they need to be for y'all, then spirituality is not really that important. But if she's leading or following your lead spiritually, and that's with anything. When I think that everything is kind of tied up into that. When a woman is following you spiritually, she's following every single move, whatever that is. That's financially, that's mentally, emotionally. Everything that you're saying is gonna be okay, baby. I'm following you. Whatever you say, we're gonna do
Yeah,
it that
you
way.
know what? I think that's the individual as a woman, because some women they say, okay, I can follow him spiritually, but I can't follow him financially, or I can follow him financially, but I can't follow him spiritually. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
to each his own. That I think to that's dependent on the person. Like that's dependent on the woman. That's dependent on whether she choose to just submit to you like that. But for the most part, for the most part, in my in my experiences, that that finance, I mean that spiritual trusting your man spiritually, I don't know, bro. I'm not gonna I haven't had no issues with it, but
you you
some of the
cough you
brothers that
coughed a
I know
little bit.
have issues with it.
You coughed a little bit. Let me get you some lights off.
Hey,
We're still in the COVID area
you think it got through? You
era. Yeah, you never know. Hey, this is the beta and meta. What is it?
what?
Meta? The meta era.
What is that? What does that even mean?
What? Like
Meta?
AI universe and all
Oh,
that.
yeah, oh,
You
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know. It could
Yeah, I got
we you could probably scratch a sniff like they used to talk about on TV by now.
you. Yeah.
I don't know.
Alright, so that goes to spiritually. Spiritually, I think a woman will submit if she sees that she can submit, and I think that's
Yeah,
across the board. If she
and it
you know
takes
what?
time. It takes time.
I do agree with that. I've never had, believe it or not, I've never had a problem with a woman submitting to anything when it comes to me. Like, and that's not a toot on the horn. That's just I don't feel like a man should have to ask a woman to submit. I think a woman would choose to submit and follow when she feels comfortable that she can. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
and this is no slug at you, but some people also go for
yeah, yeah, yeah.
weak-minded individuals.
Okay, you could say that. You
I'm
could
not
say
talking
that.
about you. I'm
But
talking about
me personally,
I'm talking about some people.
yeah,
They go specifically
I got you.
for the weak minded individual who is gonna do whatever they say and is they're not used to independent women who have their own mind. So
Yep, I can definitely agree with that. I can say that that's not my experience. The all of the women well, most of them since I came out of my teenage years, I'm talking about career women that have bachelor's degrees and up. Women that have things going for themselves, that got brains and minds, and you know what I'm saying. I've never had that experience. Now, if you talking about, like, I guess a fling or something, that's something different, and they not
I'm
looking to
just talking
submit
in
to you.
general.
Right, right, right. But I'm saying, like, for like a serious and engaging relationship, I have not. I mean, the whole submitting spiritually. I guess I've always had the respect of people for whatever reason, but the spiritual trust, that has never been an issue. All right, what about financially? Why don't
Hold
women
on,
trust?
let me just say this before we go into the financial part. I feel like um in my mind when I was more passive than aggressive or passive aggressive, I don't know which one it was. I think I had more independent women that had too much mouth. Like it's so
Oh,
I always wanted somebody to have an opinion. I always want you to use your own brain, make decisions. But when you deal with the independent women who have too much to say, as in they overpowering what you say, or that y'all can't come to agreement because y'all both headstrong, it get a little sticky.
I have now I have had. I have. I mean,
That's not submitting. That's not submitting in other ways. That's like you're
but see,
challenging.
it don't be to the extent of spiritually though.
But uh,
Yeah, you did. I'm not gonna edge yours out, by the way.
yeah, no, because I mean, I just be telling it like it is and just being honest about it, which is this happens in most cases. Like if you have a super independent person, even if they're not financially independent like that, if they feel like they're independent because they just headstrong or they speak their mind, um, then you
Yeah,
deal with.
you let me say this. I think sometimes that was my camera. All right. I think sometimes women just do that to like test your mindset. Like they do that to test your thinking. They do that to challenge to see, are you thinking either on that level or above that level? You get what I'm saying? Or if you can speak logic and reason on a different level. And and sometimes they just want to know. Okay, so like for me, I like when I'm in the relationship and I'm dealing with a person, I have to ask questions because I want to see, can I follow your train of thought? I want to see if I put something in your hands that you will be able to handle it and deal with it from a logical perspective, and I can follow. Okay, she did this for this reason, that makes sense. She did this for this
Mhm.
reason, that makes sense. And I want to know, can I follow your train of thought? And I think most of the time, when with women, they do the same thing with guys. If she's gonna challenge you or she's gonna speak against what you had going on, I think it's because they want to challenge your mindset, or they want to challenge your logic, or they want to see how you processing this, and does it make more sense than what they doing. You get what I'm saying? What you think about that? Are
Yeah,
you
I agree.
earrings, bro?
No,
That's exactly what it looked like.
but
Oh Lord.
yeah, I agree. And it gets a little sticky when you're dealing with some of those type of people. When I've dealt with, because it's like, how much do you deal with, and then how much do you allow because you want them to. Sometimes I want them to be independent, want them to have an opinion. I want them to have, their own mind. But it's like when you're constantly challenging, it's hard to see you submitting at all because you're constantly challenging.
Yeah, no, that's not submitting, bro. That's not submitting. That's not submitting. At some point, they should submit. Now, that's just, to me, that's not submitting. That's just having an attitude, or that's just trying to run. I think a woman should. Now, look, I'm not here to bash nobody's woman. I'm not here to bash no men, no women, no nothing. My opinion of it is, if you're in a relationship with a dude, um, everything shouldn't be an argument, or everything shouldn't be combative. You know, everything shouldn't be a debate or a disagreement. You know, everything shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be contentious. That's what I call a contentious woman.
So I had a friend that used to go to New Mount Calvary, and I don't.
Definitely said names.
I'm not
Okay.
gonna say. I'm just saying the church who I don't associate with. I do not associate with the church
Okay.
by no means. They need to take my picture off their website because I'm not associated with the church. But anyway,
Your pictures is
yeah,
still on their
I
website.
mean, I done emailed them, I done asked them, I done messaged the pastor, I done messaged the sound guy. Take my picture off of there with my daughters on there. Y'all trying to present. Anyway, I'm not associated with the church. Anyway, I have a friend there who had a husband and she loved her husband, but in the marriage class, she openly talked about, that's why I'm able to say it openly. She openly talked about how she didn't trust him financially. And reason why was if he had these certain amount of bills that he was supposed to be responsible for, and one of them was a light bill, and then the light bill get cut, the lights get cut off. Oh man, I forgot to pay it, and he pay it, and it come on 2 hours later. Okay, one off time is a mistake, or you're supposed to be responsible for insurance. The insurance lapse, and then you don't find out until you get into a car accident.
Yeah.
And you're like,
No.
oh man.
Yeah.
So financially, those things start building a case against you as a man,
Right.
and it's almost like a woman cannot trust you financially if you're known, if you show repetitive cycles of not being able to be responsible financially, um, then she can't trust you financially. For me, I feel
Yeah.
as if I can't trust a woman financially if, and I was watching Love is Blind, and there was a couple of women on there that,
Never seen the show, but I've heard it. But go
yeah,
ahead.
there's a couple of women on there that loves to travel, right? Loves to
Right.
travel, and it's okay to do that. But when you get into a relationship with somebody, you get into a marriage with somebody, some things change. You
Right.
can't travel as often as you used to if you're trying to
Absolutely
get
right.
to a point where y'all are saving or y'all don't have the money like that. There has to be some type of compromise. If you used to travel 2 and 3 times a year, and the compromise could be one time a year you can go with your girls,
Right.
or the limit of the budget is this. Now we have a limit of what you can spend because we're trying to accomplish a goal. And
Right.
I'll be honest and say I've even said, because my wife was doing do the same thing, travel with family, travel with her sister, go and go and go. If you can fund your own self going to these places and doing,
Right.
cool. But if you're depending
Right.
on me to
Right.
fund it, or you depending on our funds together to fund it, then there's gonna have to be a cap or a limitation on it,
Right.
especially until
Yep.
I'm at a place where I can take care of everything, and any money that you bring in is your money, which I want to do. Let me be clear. I
Yeah.
want to be able to take care of her to the point to where she don't gotta pay nothing, which we're actually at that place now, or getting at that place now where the responsibilities are not yours. So anything that you're saving is not for you to just go out and spend recklessly. It's for you to save up and
Right.
kind of store up the storehouse just in case something happened, a contract fails, I stop, work making extra gigs or whatever the case is. We have that money and we can depend on. And then once we get to a point, and I've said this too, once your savings is a number, my savings is a number, my business account savings is a number, then we can start playing and planning to do other things going, a distance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So until that time, that I feel like that can't happen. But I've seen this on this show, and they refuse and they bucked the system. They kept saying, "Well, I don't want to change my lifestyle. Oh, well, I've always traveled, and you should want to travel with me." And both of the guys in both of
Yeah.
these situations, one is saying, "I don't have to travel the world and spend all that money to be happy."
Right.
Another guy is
Right.
saying, "Well, this plan has worked for me, which is why I'm financially set. And I'm not
Right.
saying we can't travel. We can go to San Antonio, we can go here, but going to Europe and then going to Paris behind each other, that is an absolute
That's
no."
just Right. That's right. 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 And so I would say those women don't need to be married. They don't. It
Yeah.
you need to
Or
understand. Go
or
ahead.
they look for a man that can afford that lifestyle.
Yeah, and even that you could be absolutely right. For me, I'm not here to fund your round the world trip. I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to just jump up and take what kind of dudes have business to handle. You know, dudes have stuff that they need to be doing. That's why you schedule your trips. That's so you can plan that you can plan accordingly your time and your money. But I don't think I think that's just I think that's very unrealistic. I think that's just the idea that
I
social
think
media has sold
I wrote that
females that there's
some
just life
some
is
women
not really
have
like that.
unrealistic expectations of
I
men.
agree. I agree with that. I do definitely
And
agree with that.
and and I feel as if just like men have superficial expectations of women sometimes. But I feel like some of the expectation I'm talking about is like travel, just like we was talking about Love is Blind. Some people have the old school mindset of they want a man to be the provider.
Okay.
And again, I don't have a problem with doing that eventually. If you don't see in the beginning that I'm trying to court you properly, I want to pay when we go out to eat. If you want to reciprocate that, cool. Reciprocate that. It sends a good message to me, show me that you're not selfish and it's not all about you. And then we continue to do that. And then when it gets to that point where I'm okay and I got it, then I got it all the time. You good. You don't have to worry about it. But when you don't show me that in the beginning, and it's always about what you can do for me, and your hand is always out, and then you possibly stacking money on the back end, but you acting as if you broke, but I'm funding you because I'm thinking you don't have no money.
Yeah.
It's like it it's bad. But
Yeah.
but let me get
I
back.
think
Provider.
I think that's completely unfair though. That's
I
unfair.
do. I do.
If the
I
woman
do
is
too.
making money, she should be contributing something to the household. Bro, it ain't no way. We both going to work. I'm paying all the bills. You get a check, I get a check. All your money go to your pocket, but all my
So
money go
so
to the bills. No, that's
so
not
some
okay.
everybody's situation is different. Let me say that. Everybody's situation is different. Uh, some people are in a market such as real estate where there's nothing going on for a period of time. It might be 6 months you don't sell nothing. So let's say, for instance, you don't make anything, but in those last 6 months, you sell a house every month. It just depends on the situation. So even with contributing or not contributing, I think that everybody needs to contribute in some kind of way, whether that's buying food, whether that's doing something.
All right,
Everybody contribute.
let me ask you a question. Okay, so in that
Sure.
scenario, you providing everything for your wife, right?
Yeah.
So what about let's say you want to go on a trip? Who's supposed to fund that too, or is she's supposed to fund both of y'all since you haven't been paying no bills? We should be able to take trips on your money. Yes,
I don't look at it like that.
I mean
I
that's what
think,
I'm saying. If we go out and all of my money just went to the bills, right? So
yeah,
we want to go out. I ain't got the money. You should be paying for us to go out whenever it's time to go out.
that's how you think.
No, I'm asking. What at
Oh,
what
I'm
point
saying
does she
so.
at what point is she responsible for anything financially?
Okay,
What does she
so
do with her money? She don't buy you nothing for Christmas. Where does her money? What does she
oh,
do with her
now
money?
I'm not saying that on my birthday and Christmas. You better be doing something.
So what about all the in between? Because your birthday is in February, her
So
Christmas is in
so if
December.
we're talking
What about
about
all
me
these other months?
specifically, if we talk about me specifically,
I'm asking you.
I've only allowed two people and forcefully one other person to be in the same situation where I'm taking care of everything. It's only been a couple times. One,
And what were
hold
they
on,
responsible for?
I'm finna tell you. One situation, she lived within the means of what I could afford, which means we was in an apartment. My car was a cash car, so I didn't have a note. And she brought in I think she was on WIC, so we got some groceries.
Oh, so she
Uh,
wasn't working.
she wasn't working.
Okay, okay, okay.
We lived under the means of what I could afford, and the
I
tips
got
that I
yeah.
was
She
making,
got no choice.
I was working in a strip club as security, and I made tips every night.
However you got to do it.
And
If
I
she
got
ain't working,
a paycheck. But
as long as you
I made sure I gave her money so she wouldn't feel as if she was just depending on me.
she is,
Like,
but
I mean, she is. But when I'm giving her half of my tip, so I'm giving her some of my tip money, she now has some money where she can save, or she can go get her nails done, or she can. In her case, she went and bought a a nail set, like things to start doing nails as a business. She started funding her business, a table, a lamp. She started, doing that stuff so she can make extra money on the side, which was cool. I helped fund that. I wasn't tripping about it, but we lived in the means of what I could afford. Now there was a whole nother situation where she came from a situation where he paid everything and her money was her money. I said, if that's what you wanted, you should have stayed in that situation. But that's not where I'm at right now.
right,
But
right.
but I end up at the end of the day, I end up forcefully being in that situation where I was taking care of everything because she lost her job. Now, when you had your job, I feel like I was disrespected financially in so many different ways. Just doing something without asking, or asking and then still doing it anyway. I felt disrespected
Yeah.
financially. So I felt like when the tables turned, then I became daddy and all these other nice things. And now you was heeding what I was saying. But I felt that it was fake because when the tables would turn and I wasn't making as much, or you was working and you was making a little more, the respect level was different.
Yeah, see, off the muscle, like I'm not the type you got to ask me to do nothing. No, but if we have a set goal, and I talked about this, I think on the podcast with I forgot
Mario,
who, but I think no, 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 it was one of the ladies that I had on like last week or the week before that. But anyway, I think when it comes to finances, we should have something joint, but at the same time, we should have something separate.
yeah,
So I should have me an account myself, and we should have a joint account, and you should have something
yeah,
outside of our joint account.
I agree,
Our
I
joint
agree with
account
the
is the
mindset
bills.
because that for me, I'm a businessman and it doesn't work for me for everything to go into one place because I'm accountable for if somebody don't pay on time. If I need to
Yeah,
pay something dealing with the
exactly.
business, my money is also formed into that. So I don't want to take our money and fund my
Right,
business.
exactly.
I want to be able to take
Exactly.
my money and fund the business because I know I'm gonna get it back on the back end. I just know I need to
Right.
pay some stuff up front.
Up
So
front.
so I
Yeah,
know
right.
there was a kind of disagreement about that at first, but now there's an understanding. But I'm fast forwarding to this situation. Those other two situations I've described, this is a little different. Um, this is the first
Yeah, so
time.
hold on, going back to the person that disrespected and then got respect.
Okay.
Maybe it was the money that made her change that, but even still, with that, it should have been like that off the muscle.
Well,
So
I think
I mean,
that
that's a
goes
cutoff
back to
for me.
what I
Like
was
that's a
telling
bad
you.
cutoff.
How some women don't respect the being led if they
Yep.
if they can't see it. So me, I had a history of maybe the lights are getting cut off, or because I needed to wait until one more week to get some more money, or I didn't have a savings like that, or because I was always paying bills. I felt like I was paying bills and child support. So
Yeah.
I don't feel like it was a cohesive thing where we were actually being teammates and working together. It was what you doing, what I'm doing, and it just wasn't working.
Financially.
Yeah, and it just wasn't working.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna say even to that. Now, I've been living by myself for years, and I understand the struggle. But I don't have those. Nothing is getting cut off. I'm not. My thing is, if I can't do it, I'm just gonna say no. But I need this, and this,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna make sure we got that and
you've always
everything
been
else
like that.
around that. We gonna do what we got to do. But
You've always
I ain't
been
gonna.
like that.
Yeah,
But but
I'm very strict with my money. I'm
but
disciplined with my
remember
money.
remember how I was. The parties that we had at our mom's house, Babe house, was because I had them
Yeah,
big old speakers and that big old TV from Cons,
you gotta make it do what it do. You gotta make it do what it do.
from Cons or Rent a
Yeah,
Center.
yeah, right. Okay, yeah, right.
And
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and
yeah,
how
yeah,
you
right. I
how
got you.
you think it was a smart way. How I was thinking was, I have this stuff now. I can present well. People gonna come and have a good time. I have some stuff to watch. I can listen to some live music. But when that bill came, sometimes I didn't pay on
Yeah,
time.
right,
Sometimes, just like a
right,
storage, people lose storage because they think they can afford this storage, and then that's not a priority when these other bills are due. Just like layaway, just like the
exactly,
pawn shop. I lived in the pawn shop for a while. Pawn
exactly,
stuff, get it out, but you're spending a whole lot of money just to keep it in there.
right,
Just like title
right, right,
loans.
right,
I mean,
right.
everything that I'm saying, I've done
Yeah,
before.
yeah, I've never got no title loan,
No,
but that's
I'm
exactly
just
why.
being transparent about what
Yeah,
I've
no,
done.
I feel you.
Yeah, so title loan, you paying 300% on what you borrow. So you
Exactly.
before you look at it, in 3-4 months you could have already paid that back, but you're just keeping it afloat to the next month, and you still
Yeah,
hadn't paid back what the
yeah,
loan is. That those kind of
yeah.
things can make a woman feel like, I'm not following you financially because you ain't got your
I was just
together.
about to say that. Yeah, I was just
Yeah,
about to say
you're
that. I was just about to say that like that. That's gonna cut a woman
yeah.
off the muscle.
But let's say, for instance, and going back to what we were talking about, if somebody knows that information, it's hard for them to come in with the level of trust because that's what you used to be, that's what you used to do. I don't know enough now to know if that's not going to be the same behaviors. Or maybe that's okay. Right now you're not doing that, but what if you go back to those same behaviors? And
Yeah.
one thing I learned over this time is, I'm not finna live in the pawn shop no more. I'm not living in the negative no more. I'm not
Right.
getting nothing from cons or rent a center no more. Like you
Right.
said, if I can't afford it, I'm not
I
gonna
just
buy it.
don't. Yeah. That so that's another reason why I say financially. Um, I most of the women that I've dealt with, my rule is I don't ask no woman for no money because I can take care of myself, and I've had child support since I've had any job. But everything that I've had, I've been able to keep. I've never been without no lights. I've never been without gas in my car. I had to go a long time without a car because I just couldn't afford it. But I have always kept me a place to stay. My stuff ain't never get cut off. I couldn't afford cable at one time. So it's just like, but when it comes to my finances, I've always had something in the bank. Always. I've always had something to where I ain't gotta go ask babe. I ain't gotta go ask my mama. I ain't gotta go ask nobody. I could just go to my, you know what I'm saying? I've
Yeah,
just been real structured with my money like that. And so when a woman comes into that seeing, oh, this dude will watch DVDs instead of getting cable, I can see my nigga gonna sacrifice to make sure we have what we need to have. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And I'm
And
I'm not one to
that wasn't always my testimony.
yeah, right.
That wasn't
Right.
always my
Yeah,
testimony.
but see, if a
Now,
woman come into that now and she see that you doing better financially, you more disciplined, why wouldn't she trust that because you tell her that's what you used to do?
now
That's crazy.
I'm not saying that was those were situations that I dealt with. I'm saying the situations I dealt with was because of my behaviors in those relationships. If
Oh,
I
I
was
got you. I got you. Okay, I
irresponsible,
got
if I was irresponsible in those moments, they couldn't trust that the
you.
rent was
Got
going
you.
to be paid on time,
You're right. Got
or we were
okay.
going
Yeah,
to get
yeah.
an
Okay.
eviction
That
note.
makes sense. You're right. That definitely makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes sense. That
So
makes sense.
until I make the difference in me, and I walk different, I save different, I move different. We don't have to go with our friends all the time and spend $200 a pop.
Right. Right.
I verbally said this. We do have some friends. I would have called they call us bougie. I think we call them bougie, but we all hang out and we go and we enjoy ourselves when we go. But when we go, sometimes they pay for all of us. Sometimes I pay for all of us. And that's you.
Yeah. See, my thing is whenever, and I've always been like this. Whenever I go out, that's calculated, player. That's money that I done put to the side to spend. So
Yeah.
when we go out, I know that limit. So once that drink hit the limit, drinks
Well,
is closed, bro.
now it's different. Now it's different
Yeah, right, right,
because I had to make sure that there's some money that's put aside just for entertainment.
right, right,
I
right,
didn't do
right,
it
right,
like
right.
that all the time. I felt like
Right.
the money I made entertaining was my money to play with entertaining.
You're right,
But
but yeah, don't. Once you
I
start
real
running that business, you start seeing a little bit different or what?
no no I think that when I stopped paying, when okay, yes and no. When I started running the business, I wasn't paying myself for a long time. So any
Right.
money that I made was only went drumming money, and anything I did now, I would say drumming, license to carry classes, any other thing that I make on the side, stripping, whatever, pimping people out. I'm just playing. I'm just saying that the extra money was the money.
Chippendale.
You're right. That was my extra money to play with. But now, when I started the business, that's not the money I play with. That's the money I pay bills
You're
with.
right.
My bills, my
Right.
personal stuff. Because I wasn't
Right.
taking any money from the company. But now that I'm, paying myself, I just started paying myself. Now it's different. I can pay myself with the bills, and now my play money can be the other money that I was talking about. So it's different
Right.
now.
Right. So
But
okay, so look, going back to that, so you had went to two situations. We had just kind of got off a sidebar,
yeah,
but then
I
you
got
was
you.
going into your third scenario. So what was that? What was that story like before we run
So
out of time?
so the that scenario is when you have an understanding woman who's gonna follow your lead for real.
Right.
She's gonna understand some things that maybe she wasn't doing right, or maybe that she could do differently, and she's gonna take a back seat to that. And then when you see that, and you know that she's following your lead, and she's not doing the things that she used to do, or that she used to be able to afford to do her own self for her own self, it's like I want to take care of her. I
Right.
want to make sure. Yesterday, I just said, "Hey, go get your toes done. I'm gonna send you the money," and I did that, and I felt good about doing it because this is the
But that's
first time.
because you see where her mind at, right? You see where her
Yeah, yeah,
mentality
yeah,
is.
yeah,
Like, yeah, right.
yeah. She
And then
she
that's your wife.
understands.
So
Yeah, yeah, but not just because of that. Not just because my wife, because there's been people that's my wife that wasn't on the same accord.
okay, yeah,
So
right. I feel
it's
you on
like
that.
it's a whole different thing when somebody their whole being is to nurture and take care of you, and
Wow.
they're trying to make sure that you're good
Yeah.
on every end. So,
Yeah. One
yeah,
day I'm gonna be that dork. Now, just playing.
I, hey, I'll be it
Nah,
because
I think it's good. Nah, I think it's a
I
good
think I've
thing, bro.
always
For real.
wanted to be at that place, but what I was seeing from some of the situations was selfishness, and it
Yeah,
shut
right.
me down.
On their
I'm
part.
not
On
giving,
their part.
yeah, on their part.
Yeah.
When I see selfishness, even one time, I ain't finna be overspending. I'm not finna be going out the way. I'm gonna do what I need to do,
Yeah.
but not. I don't have
It
to do
make you
nothing.
want to close up. Yeah. It make you want to close up.
Yeah, because I could be doing something else with that money instead of spending and
Right.
overspending and splurging and sending you money. But when
Right.
you show that you are not selfish, and when you show that you reciprocate the same energy, when you
Right.
show that you're not one of these people that's just so extra money hungry. What can you do for
Right.
me? Can you get my nails done, my feet done, my hair done? Blah, then it makes me want to do it. But I
Right.
tell people this all the time, and that's even with men proposing. If you allow a man to do it in his own timing, you'll get the value of what he genuinely wants to do, not being
Right.
forced or manipulated to do it. He's
Right.
going to invest the time to go purchase the ring. He gonna put money down. He'll keep dropping that money until he get the ring that he really wants. And then when he's ready
Yep.
and he has it in his possession,
Yep.
not anytime sooner, you'll get the proper proposal. You'll get the proper marriage and wedding. You get the proper reception because
Yeah. Hey,
he's saying
I
it's
agree
real.
with you. I agree with you
Yeah.
100%.
But
Yeah.
what you have these days is you have a whole lot of people that don't even want that right now. They just want to play around and mess around. But the people that want that, they have so this hard pressure put on you about when you gonna propose, when we gonna get married, the type of ring they want, and all this other kind of expectations. And it's just like you're putting so much on a man when he already still got bills, but now you want
Right.
all this extra stuff that costs all this money.
You know what the question sometimes I ask this to guys. Now, okay, so I remember I asked all my brothers specifically, but I'm gonna just put it out there in general. For me, I live by myself. I've built myself up financially. I've built everything in my life I have now. I worked hard to get it, and I
God did it.
appreciate it. And of course, God showed me favor and He blessed me. And but it was also my hard work, my discipline, my dedication to just getting myself to a certain point. With that said, why would it, and I remember I asked you this before, and I'm gonna ask you again, why would a dude willingly sign up for a woman who's pressing the issue like that, as opposed to, like, I'm just welcoming in more stress, more annoyance into my life that I don't need. I'm okay with my life where it is. And now I bring this woman in who's trying to force me into, no, I'm not gonna do it. No, I'ma just stay where I'm at, and you go find the next door, because it ain't gonna be me. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see the reason. And look, I feel what you're saying 100%. I just don't see the logic in why a dude would welcome that into his life. And I'm seeing it more so and more so now, where guys are choosing to be. I see so many single guys, like, so much more prevalent now in 2024, because exactly what you're saying. Like, why would I welcome that into my life? And I've built my life to the place where I actually want my life to be. Why would I welcome that? Why would I?
Yeah,
It don't make sense. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. It's definitely a hard situation, but I feel like when you want something, sometimes it comes with the extra, and you don't know it until you get into it. That this woman is like that. I mean, I have a friend who the woman was super spoiled because that's what her dad did. Super
You couldn't
spoiled.
see that though from the beginning?
I I don't think it mattered in the beginning. To some men, that's not the first thing you see. The first thing you see is, this is the person I want to be with. This person is attractive to me. I think that we have great chemistry. But when you get in the depths in depth of a relationship, then it turns to hold up now, can we slow down a bit? Can we do something different? Well, my daddy did this, so you need to
I'm
keep
not your
up
daddy.
that same
That's
energy.
we gonna cut that off right there. I'm not your daddy. I'm not him. I'm Marcus. So you can ask your daddy to do all this stuff, because I'm not. I'm not gonna do it. You think that's wrong?
No, no. I mean, I don't think I would say it like that. I would think I would. I think I would understand exactly what you're saying, though. I'm not your daddy,
Yeah, and I'm
and
not gonna
I'm not
try
gonna be
to
your
be your
daddy.
daddy. Right.
No,
I'm not even gonna attempt to be him, because I'm not. I'm
I don't
me.
even want you to call me daddy in the bedroom. I'm not him.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly, nigga.
but yeah. So yeah, that I think these were good topics that we talked about, man. These again are some things that people don't realize. And if these are you, if you identify yourself with as in being one of these people, it's not too late to change. It's not too late to do something different. It's not too late to try something different. But this is in the thoughts of men who have experienced it, and sometimes in the thoughts of women who have verbally told me about these situations. So if y'all have anything to say, any comments that y'all have to say about these topics, y'all please put it in the comments. Like, share, follow.
Yeah, yeah. So look, man, that's another episode, man. Thank you for your time, bro. I'll see you next week. But check it out. For everybody, if you like this, please don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to share this video. Leave your comments in the section, as Brother Twan just said. I want to say thank y'all. Help us to grow our podcast by sharing this video. I don't know what's wrong with this nigga. Help us grow this podcast by sharing this video, liking it. When you comment, that helps the algorithm. When you share it, when you like it, that helps the algorithm. And so that'll help boost our channel. So guys, please help us boost the podcast up. I really enjoy doing it. All right, bro. That concludes another episode. Thank you for your time, dog. I'm about to log off.